Hey guys, a bit of a different camera angle here, I guess. I'm recording on my phone because currently I have brought the wrong lens back from home to college for my good camera, so I'm using this angle now. And honestly, it might just be a little bit better, but it's just kind of weird how I'm using the front-facing camera on my phone to record this, so I don't know exactly how this is gonna work. So yeah, sorry about that, but welcome to week 2 analysis. Also, sorry if I just don't make eye contact because I'm so used to looking at my screen, so it's a little bit off, but I'll try to look into the camera as best as I can. So yeah, let's just get into week 2 analysis. We'll start off with Space Station Gaming versus Sonics, which was a 3-1 win for Sonics. And I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't see this coming. But Sonics definitely deserved this win. They were very efficient on offense. They scored 7 goals in the series to their, 26 shots? And they had 26 shots to Space Station's 29, so they undershot Space Station, but yet they still came out on top. In fact, the Sonics scored 2 more goals than Space Station did the entire series. And I think we just need another round of applause for my man Shock. He went off week 2. He had 3 goals, 3 assists, 7 saves, and 13 shots, and an average score of 436.5. That is a ridiculous day to have in RLCS. So yeah, Shock, I said he was my X factor for this game, and he really pulled through and played very well for his team. And Space Station just could not get anything going offensively at all. They had 29 shots and they only scored 5 goals, which I guess isn't that inefficient, but when you have that over the course of a 4-game series and you're not really converting all that often, it makes it for a very tough series. And their main scorer was Sipical, who had 3 goals and 8 saves, so he was all over the place. Whereas Arsenal and AXB both had a goal each, and then they had a total of 8 saves combined. I don't think Space Station looked bad this game, but I definitely think that they look beatable, which is something that you don't really want to show this early in the season. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really worried for Sonics at the start of the season that they were going to just be a very weak team, but they ended up beating Space Station, and I consider that a very good win. And this was the only matchup I predicted wrong. I predicted Space Station was going to win this game, but the Sonics beat them pretty handily, I'd say. Also, fun fact for everybody catching up at home, out of the 10 RLCS matches in North America that have been played, I have correctly predicted 8 of them, which would be 80%. And now let's go on to our next game, which was E United versus Ghost, and Ghost 3-0 swept E United. Wow. I thought this one was going to be close. It obviously wasn't. Ghost came to play. E United just really didn't get anything going at all. The player I was definitely most impressed with on Ghost was Mist. He had 4 goals, 6 saves, and 8 shots, so a very good stat line right there. And I expected Atomic to score more this game, but he actually came up in a different way, having 5 assists this series, which is huge for a team. And 6 out of the 7 goals that Ghost scored were assisted, so that means that they're just passing it around. They're feeling each other. And I really don't know what to say about United except for the fact that they just were on defense the entire time. Hoxer had 5 saves, Ajax had 6 saves, Rodas had 2 saves, but the vast majority of the saves were Hoxer and Ajax. And for E United to only score twice on 20 shots is pretty bad scoring percentage wise, and they just did not have that good of a day at all, really. So I'm hoping that E United bounce back next week, but they will have to face NRG, which is going to be a very difficult matchup. And Ghost will also have a difficult matchup next week versus the Pittsburgh Knights. So it's not like either of these teams have a break week next week. And I think we'll really start to see how resilient both of these teams are the further and further on we get in the series, especially since they're playing NRG and Pittsburgh Knights respectively. But Ghost won this series pretty handily in a 3-0 sweep. They looked great, and let's just go ahead and get on to the next one. The next match of the day was Rogue versus Cloud9. It was a 5-game series that Rogue won in the end in an overtime finish, 3-2. Rogue looked pretty good, I'd say. I think Kronovi stepped up a lot this game. He had 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 saves on 14 shots. And I made him my X factor in last week's predictions, and he definitely showed up. He definitely was that crucial player, and he scored goals when he needed to. Only 1 goal scored by Rogue was not assisted, so that's really good to see passing plays coming out more from Rogue and just seeing the team work together as a whole better. But not all was good for Rogue. Wonder had a particularly poor day. He did have 5 saves, but he only scored out of 2 of his 22 shots, which is not great at all. But it was enough to beat Cloud9 in the end. Speaking of Cloud9, what is going on? Gimmick had 13 saves this series. Torment had 10, and Torment's normally considered their third man. Good to see Torment get his first RLCS goal this season, but Squishy only had 2, Gimmick only had 3. The Cloud9 never got it going. They just were consistently on their back foot, which has seemed to become a theme this season. And Rogue played good. I'll give them that. They came up in a clutch moment. They scored in a Game 5 overtime to win the series by, I think it was a Kernovi goal. And I think this is a huge win for Rogue confidence-wise, and I think this is a terrible loss for Cloud9. Next up in our fourth matchup of the day was NRG versus Flight, and NRG won in a 3-0 sweep. I'm pretty sure I said my X factor for Flight was going to be offensive efficiency versus NRG, and they only scored 2 goals by memory the entire series. And considering they had 15 shots, that's not very efficient at all. Again, they were just taking shot after shot from NRG. They had a total of 19 saves this series, and NRG just looked dominant. Justin really looked better today. He didn't have that good of a shot accuracy, but he scored 3 goals and assisted twice, and I think that he really showed that he's a great offensive player and that he is definitely still consistent. And Turbo Pulsar also looked a ton better by not own goaling this series, which is a big thing last series. NRG wasn't challenged defensively much at all. In the 3-game series, they only had 10 saves, whereas Flight had 19, like I said earlier. Seabass looked lost all series. He 0 goals, 0 assists, 8 saves, and 3 shots. But Seabass just was not providing really any offensive pressure the entire series. NRG came in and did the work that had to be done, and they beat Flight. That being said, Flight did not put on that good of a showing against NRG, and they suffered because of it. And NRG won this series with a clean sweep, 3-0. For our final match of the day, we have G2 versus Pittsburgh Knight. What I predicted to be the best matchup of the day, and I also predicted for it to be G2's second win over the Pittsburgh Knights, and they won. It was a 3-1 game. Pittsburgh Knights took the first game, G2 took the next 3. Redos tweeted it best when he said that it was the first time where he felt like they just could not get any kind of offense going, and that really shows. They only had 22 shots by the Pittsburgh Knights, only 4 goals, 2 from Gyro and 2 from AJ. Redos just really could not get anything going, though he did assist 3 times. And it was also this series where Gyro just had a game where he did great and he did everything, or he did nothing for his team, shown by the fact that in game 1, he had a score of 543, topping his team. Same thing in game 3, he had a score of 615, and then in game 4, he had a score of 62. So really high highs and really low lows. The Pittsburgh Knights looked lost, but that's where G2 looked found. They still carried that energy over from last week, and their passing style really succeeded. Like last week, every single goal scored by G2 was assisted, 7 goals, 7 assists. They weren't very efficient on offense. They took a total of 46 shots in the course of a 4-game series, which is it's a lot of shots. And while JNAPS had a relatively quiet series, Rizzo really stepped up and had an average score of 419.75. He also came up clutch this series with 10 saves compared to JNAPS and Chicago's combined 7. Not to mention he scored twice and assisted 3 times as well. He was really all over the pitch, and I think Rizzo is having a very good season. G2's style definitely prevailed over the Pittsburgh Knights style, and it just really showed that their passing style is really good and very refined. I think the Pittsburgh Knights might have to rethink their strategy just a little bit. Now that they're playing with AJ, I don't think that they can play as fast and as aggressive as they did with Mist. And I still believe in Pittsburgh as my number 3 seed, but we're gonna have to see more from them if we want to see that. But yeah, that's about all that I've got. I only missed one matchup. That was the Space Asian versus Sonics matchup. All of the other ones I got right. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos as much as I'm enjoying making them. I'm having a blast just working through all the data and creating my spreadsheet and predicting matchups, and to be 80% accurate after 2 weeks is pretty good. If you like this video, then you know what to do. If it sucked, well, then don't like it. And if you have a friend who really likes Rocket League and data, then make sure to share it with them. Also, subscribe if you want to keep seeing content like this. I'll probably be making another video coming out Friday night predicting week 3 matchups, and so just stick around and wait for that. It is very late when I am recording this, and it is currently Monday night, and I have an 8 a.m. class on Tuesday, so I am going to go to sleep and get to that. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.